Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. This video I want to talk about Whatnot and my journey to 1,000 sales on Whatnot as a Canadian seller. So if you guys haven't heard of Whatnot, it's basically a mix, it's kind of like a mix of retail and social media, and it's like an auction site. You're on camera, you have the item, you're showing the item to people that are in your show, and then people in the show can, interact. They can talk to each other in the chat, they can ask you questions, and that's kind of like a general idea of, what Whatnot is. So my journey to 1,000 sales started in spring 2024, and I was selling snapback hats. I kind of jumped on. I didn't really do much research, which I would not recommend, but I did maybe like 5-6 shows, but I had a little bit of success. I sold, some items, but not that much. So I kind of stopped for a while, and then I jumped back on in fall 2024, and I changed the product. I started selling video games, and I kind of changed my strategy. But I'll get more into that later in the video. But that's like basically, that's basically my journey to 1,000 sales. It didn't take that long. I did pause for a while, and then there was a Canada Post strike in November, December, so that also slowed me down a bit. But less than a year, I got to 1,000 sales. As a Canadian seller, there's a lot more challenges, mainly with shipping. It's a lot more expensive shipping from Canada, in Canada, or to the States. So that's definitely a hurdle for a lot of Canadians, as in terms of like getting people in your shows and getting people to purchase. If the shipping price is high, it kind of deters a lot of people from purchasing from you. So that's probably the biggest challenge as a Canadian seller, is the shipping. And with Whatnot, you don't have a choice. It's basically Whatnot, they choose the shipping provider. They provide the labels to you. So they set that you can't really do anything about that. So for a while, it's just Canada Post. That's the only shipping they had. Now recently they've added chit chats, which is great. It's great for Canadians that are close to chit chats locations, if you can use chit chats. So you guys know I talk about chit chats all the time in my videos. So now they have chit chats. I used them for one show, and I did notice like I got a lot more people in my show, and I got a lot more sales to the States. So I don't know if that's because I had a lot of games in my last show, or if it was because of the shipping. So I'll do more research, and when I find out 100%, then I'll let you guys know. I'll probably do a video about it. But so that's good news for Canadian sellers with the shipping, because that's the hardest part about Whatnot. So tips I would give, give anyone starting out, now that I have some experience selling. And also, I forgot to say, the reason why 1,000 sales is, big on Whatnot is because once you reach 1,000 sales, you get instant payouts. So before 1,000 sales, you have to wait till the customer receives the product for you to get paid out. But once you hit 1,000, then you get your payouts right when you print the label. You get paid out. So that's the reason why you see a lot of people on YouTube and Whatnot talking about reaching 1,000 sales. So what I would recommend for people that are thinking of getting on Whatnot is, first thing I would say, to do your research, jump into a couple of shows, see how different sellers run their shows, what kind of prices they're getting, what kind of items they're selling. So if there's a couple items you're thinking of selling, a couple of categories, go into those categories and see what it's like. See what items are going for, what items are selling, because that's probably the main thing, is picking the product you want to sell. And I would stick to, I would just stick to one kind of one category. I wouldn't try and do a bunch of different categories. I think it's better, to stick to one category and then build a following in that category. So then you'll see, like, as you run more shows, you'll get more followers, you get more people in your shows, and people will be looking out for you because they know, okay, this guy has whatever, this item. So that's an important thing. Another thing too, I would say, is to start off with inexpensive items. So for me, I sell video games. So when I say I buy a bunch of video games, like I buy a collection, there's always going to be some games in there that, aren't really valuable. Usually I don't even price those games. So those will just be like throw-in stuff I get for free, or maybe I price it at, $1 or something. So that's what I like to sell on Whatnot. I pick like items that are $20 and less. That's what I put on Whatnot. And also my following is small right now too. So when you first start, you're gonna have a small following. You're not gonna have a lot of people in your shows, so you're not gonna get a lot of bids. So it's better to start off with cheaper items, and then you're not gonna lose anything. You'll probably break even, maybe lose like a little bit of money, but it's no big deal until you build up your following, get more people in your shows, get more bids. Then you can kind of increase, the value of items in your shows, because Whatnot, it's more about like giving people want a deal, right? You're not gonna get 80% of the value, 90% of the value, unless maybe you're like a really big seller. But most sellers, you're gonna get like 60% or 70% of the value. But the trade-off is you're gonna sell a lot of items. So that's kind of like my strategy now. Also too, like people, it's more exciting when, a item starts at $1 and you bid on it. You're bidding, you're in like a bidding war. It's more exciting for I find it's more exciting for people, customers, instead of just like trying to sell an item for a certain price. Like, oh, I'm trying to get like $15 for this or $20 for this. It's better just put it for $1 and then just let everyone bid. And then whoever, bids the highest takes the item. Like I feel like that's more exciting. And that's kind of like what Whatnot is about. It's about the bidding and the auctions. So I'm kind of rambling a bit. Another thing I like about Whatnot is, there's a lot of transparency, right? With eBay, there's not that same transparency. Like when I'm on camera showing the item, like I can show the whole item, the buyer can see it live on camera, they see everything. So there's not gonna be like any miscommunication about the item. Usually there's more transparency, which is another thing I like about Whatnot. But now I'm kind of getting into what I like instead of, tips. Oh yeah, another thing too is schedule your shows. So me, I like to schedule my show like 1 week in advance. So it gives people time to see it, save it, and you'll end up getting more people in your show. So schedule your show out in advance, say like a week in advance or 5 days, something like that. And then how I also like to do my shows is I like to do listings for each item that I'm running in the auction. So it's really easy. It takes like a minute. It's not like eBay where you have to take a bunch of photos and fill out a bunch of information. It's not like that. You can do, I can do a listing in a minute. One photo, I fill out a couple things, and that's it. So that's how I run my shows. Other people do it differently, but that's how I do mine. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of go over that in this video. Maybe next video I'll do a comparison, eBay and Whatnot. But let me know in the comments, have you guys tried Whatnot? Let me know your experience as a Canadian seller. I got a lot of Canadian customers, so I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there that have tried, selling on Whatnot as a Canadian. But I like to know, let me know your experiences, how you like it, what you don't like. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.